This chapter covers on such wrapper library known as the Ajax library for .NET. In this chapter, we will show off the simplicity of taking back and forth between the client browser and your application server without page post back. We will also dive a little under the hood of the library to show how and why the library works. This chapter shows you how to get started using the Ajax.NET Professional Library. To get started, we will set up a simple example and get it working. The following topics we will cover. First topic is acquiring Ajax.NET Professional Library and adding reference to the Ajax.NET Pro assembly. And third topic is setting up the web config to handle Ajax request. And the last topic is registering the page class. When you have finished these examples, you will have compiled your first implementation of the Ajax.NET Pro library. You will have successfully set up an ASP.NET page that uses the library to refresh parts of your page with data from the web server. In this chapter, we are talking about Ajax.NET Professional version 9.2.17.1. As with all software, this library is evolving and continually being added to and upgraded. You can download the version 9.2.17.1 library from the internet. This is the URL of that library. Using this URL, you will be able to download that version, and you can download this version in one of two ways. First way is compile library. Second way is library source code. The main difference of these two ways are compile library is ready to use, but library source code must be compiled first. I would recommend that first you download the compile library. This is the zip file that contains a single file named Ajax.NET. This is already compiled library that is ready for you to start using as a reference in the next section. If you would like to hear access to source code, you can download the library source code, which has all the source code files needed for you to do the compiling yourself. Then the code can be embedded into your application. Okay, let's learn how to prepare your application. In order to prepare your application to use Ajax.NET Professional Library, following these two steps. Add a reference to the Ajax.NET Professional Library. And second step is wire up the Ajax.NET Professional Library in the web config file so that your application can process the special request created by the Ajax.NET Professional Library. Okay, now we are going to prepare your application to use Ajax.NET Professional Library. To use the Ajax.NET Professional Library, your first step is to set a reference to the library. This allows you to use library functionality inside your application. Create a new website in your Visual Studio and Visual Studio 2005 automatically create a bin folder for you, and right click on this folder and select add reference. Now we will be able to see add reference dialog box. It's look like this. Don't worry about that, because now I will explain how to use the add reference window using example, and then you will be understand how we can use add reference dialog box and how to add above we downloaded professional library zip file into that add reference dialog box. First of all, open the Visual Studio 2008 and go to file and then new and new website. Then you will have to use the language we selected and then give a website name if you like, and then click OK. Now Visual Studio creating a new website for you, and then now we are going to add reference professional library into our website, and right click on your website and click add reference. Then now we will be able to show add reference dialog box we called above. Now select the browse tab in add reference dialog box and select the place where you store the Ajax we downloaded professional library. Now select the Ajax pro.dll library and click OK. Now you can see in here Visual Studio have added Ajax Pro library into this place, your website. This is another special thing. What is it? Ajax.NET Pro library use a page handler to process requests that come into the server from your client application. This page handler need to be wired up to your application, and this is done by and inserting it into your web config file. This code should be inserted into the system.web section in your web page. You should not think much better about how to place this code into your web application, because at the end of the lecture I will do an example with all these steps we discussed above. From the default AXPX page in our website, go to web config tab and go to web config page and add this code to this place. First you open the HTTP handler and now you have successfully added Ajax.NET Professional Library into your web page. I think now you have an idea about how to download Ajax.NET Professional Library and what is it and how to add it into your web page.